yourself or just give us your first name?
Yeah, I'm Donnie McMillan.
Hey, Donnie.
From Minneapolis.
And you brought us here. Can you give us a little history? What's taking place?
Let's take a walk
Let's
here.
do it.
Back in 1964, I was 10 years old. One evening I had to go to the bathroom, and we have an outhouse up here on the property. And it was always the right thing to, for the gentlemen to use the outhouse at night, and because the ladies use the facilities inside the main cabin. There's a little pathway here. In 1964, I was walking this path, which actually has some cement somewhere. They've let it go over the years. And the cook shack was back further. They've since moved the cook shack up. I come up here to use the facilities, and I came across something I couldn't identify, and I didn't know. I guess not. So I stopped and I looked, and right over here, I saw a creature standing in the woods, and I couldn't identify it. It was huge. It had to have been 10 feet tall. The cook shack used to sit back further. They moved that up. So the path comes up here and then turns, and the outhouse, which is there now, used to be back here. And I came up this path, and it was weird because the bunkhouse would shake every now and then when we were up here staying in it. Every now and then something would be shaking the bunkhouse, and we'd all come running out like there never was anything there. So this is the path I was walking. The outhouse was right there. I stopped right here and I looked, and there used to be this grandpa birch right out here. And it was standing there like this, leaning on it, looking at me. Since then, Grandpa Birch has dropped. Storms ravaged this area. So it was right about Grandpa Birch sat right about here. It was a huge birch tree. And it was standing here like this, and it was leaning and it was looking at me. And I could see the eyes. The eyes were orange and kind of a glowing. Well, this path was open back then. Oh, we're gonna get eaten alive here, guys. Everything wants to eat you up here.
Spray break, boys.
Yeah. Don't be scared to use it, because they're not scared to eat you.
Oh, they're hungry.
Yeah, they're way hungry out here.
They've been waiting
So,
for a while.
Grandpa Birch was twice the size of that. This old maple. And that birch tree was huge. And it sat right about here where we are, right in here. And gosh, you know, right there. And I looked at it, and I thought, what the hell is this? And it didn't seem normal. I knew it wasn't a bear. I'd grown up here. I knew it wasn't any kind of animal that would walk upright. Deers don't walk upright. You know?
Yeah.
Bears occasionally will stand up against trees and stuff. I've seen it. But not 10 feet up.
No.
And that a branch was 12 feet up, and it was leaning, holding the branch.
Jeez.
And I'm going, and it was huge and black, and it had the form of a large, huge human being. And was I scared? Oh, hell yeah, I was scared.
Yeah, 10 years
I
old.
backed out of here, hit that path, and headed for the main cabin.
Man.
Yeah, too bad people didn't believe.
Right.
We have to believe. I mean, it's happened too often.
Right.
Too
Yeah.
many people have seen too many things for it not to be real, and for us not to believe in that and try to figure out what's going on. And I'm glad you guys In Minnesota,
Yeah. Yep.
B.R.T. is taking over, and you know what's going on. Let's get out of the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. We know what's going on.
Let's get out of the woods. They're hungry.
This is prime habitat. I mean, this is
It
really
is.
This is
Squatch.
Squatch
Just
country.
being here, you can see how
You come
how,
in here at night, you bang on one of these trees,
Yeah.
like you guys were talking about yesterday. It takes a certain tree to make a certain noise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What, response sometimes? Have you heard that?
I've heard knocks. I've heard chatter. I've heard
How would you
like they talk back and forth to each other.
how
They
would you
kinda
describe the
snap.
chatter?
They do. Yeah, it clicks. Yeah.
That's what you hear is a clicking.
Okay.
Knocks,
And I'm
the
sure they're
clicking.
communicating. The outhouse was right there, so I mean it was like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
thing's right there. I was going right there, and I hit it right there
Did you see,
and hit it.
Did you see any, like, it was dark, right?
Yeah, it was dusk. It was just at that point where, man, if it's gonna get dark soon, so if you can use the outhouse, you better get up there and do it now.
This. It was like leaned up against a tree.
There was a branch sticking out from it, like up here,
Yep.
and probably about the height of that branch.
And that's.
And it was standing there leaning on it,
Yep.
and it was leaning forward, kind of looking at me.
Yeah.
And I said, my God, I've chased plenty of raccoons up this tree. So I know this tree is about half the size of what Grandpa Birch was. It was a huge tree.
That shows you the size comparison too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm 6'1". I can't imagine.
No.
Yeah.
It had to be 10, 12 feet. I don't know. The reach was probably, on a normal man, is about half of your body length.
Yep.
So if you can imagine this thing's at 10 feet, it can reach 15 feet, and that would be about there.
Yeah.
And didn't look like it was struggling, and it was just
leaning
wouldn't
there.
move. But it was this arm, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't on that side. It was the other side of the tree. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How wide would you guesstimate?
Oh. I swear to God,
Every
At the
bit of
shoulders.
Shoulders about.
at the shoulders about like this,
Yeah.
and at the waist not much less.
Yeah.
And then you could see hips, you could see forearm, but I couldn't see the feet. And they put that dock and stuff there now, so there was a rock there, and that's where I saw the impression off the rock.
Yep.
And I wish I'd have had the common sense to take a form of it, and I didn't.
Well, you wouldn't though, right? You're
I-
young.
Yeah, 10 years
That was a
old.
long time ago.
Yeah, that wasn't something you
1964.
did, you know.
But this backs right up to the Chippewa National Forest after the 1,000 acres that they own. I mean, they own down to the fish hook and all the way back about half a mile, and then all the way down past the inlet on this side.
Wow.
And they've been offered to sell it, but they had it up for sale for a while, but nobody was biting on it right at the time, and the kids decided they wanted to keep it.
Good.
Yep.
Glad they did.
So they're keeping it in the family.
Well, you don't see, land like that anymore
Well, that
that a
amount, though.
family owns. You know,
No.
I mean, and that's part of the problem is we just go in and we
It all
destroy
started out with a guy named Doc and Dorothy Brown. They're the ones that originally purchased the property, and they were big Shriners. My uncle was one of the 101 Minnesota Shriners, which is the top of the elite Shriners. And Doc Brown bought the place, and he left it to my uncle when he passed.
Oh, wow.
Dorothy had already passed. Dorothy and my Aunt Phyllis used to go down here. There's a little pond inside the inlet. And they'd go down there and they'd swim naked and bullshit. So, yeah, you guys gonna be feeling the mosquitoes as bad as I am.
You got the short.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's funny though. You're like, we gotta get out of the woods because that's true. You get in them woods and then they're right on you.
I knew better. You guys want to peek?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd be down. I love this.
This thing is sweet, like how rustic it is. I'm not gonna lie.
I would
So this
take
is-
this over $1 million cabin.
You said 52 or 42?
42.
42.
Under here is where I helped my uncle get the water, because it was all hand pump water back in the day.
Oh,
And he and I dropped a pump down in here
Okay.
and banged the diamond
You did.
tips down. Oh yeah,
You got a stand
had to go
point.
down Had to go down about 150 feet.
Holy crap.
Yeah. You had to go deep because you had to get under the lake water.
Yep.
That's a 55-ton fireplace.
Wow.
It's leaning pretty good these days.
Yeah.
Not like we got locked up. We didn't use the lock. Too many people broke in.
Yeah, it's probably best you
If
do.
you want to peek in, you can.
I love that you've got a screen porch because up here.
Oh, it's a necessity.
It's
I
a
think they
necessity.
blocked it. Yeah.
That's okay. That's good they did.
I don't want to violate my cousin.
Nope.
No.
It's good that they did. They blocked
This
it.
is, yeah, more than enough just to take a look in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This
Well,
screen porch
this
is
is a
great.
splotchy area. If we
Man, you
up
sit
and
out here
investigate it, man.
and you see some things. Look at the geese. That's the ones that have been crapping
that's-
everywhere.
Oh, yeah, the whole family.
Yeah. The crappy family, obviously. Well, let's go out on the lake,
All right.
and then we better head back so I can get you guys back in time.
All right. Well, thank you, Donnie.
Very much.
Yeah.